All right, this is MOTORAMATHON, the internet's first and number one podcast dedicated to breaking down the movie Motorama 1 minute at a time. As always, I am your host, Frankie Campsano, and joining me is my friend and yours, Dr. Steve Attore. What's up, Doc?
What's going on? Happy New Year again. After
Happy New Year.
Official bonus. Not bonus. Sorry.
I have not stopped.
A real episode saying Happy New Year. That's what I
Happy New Year, everybody. If you did not listen to last week's bonus episode, go listen to it. Maybe halfway through, we discovered I had prepared this material, but I hadn't really screened it, and we watched a few ads for Rugrats Go Wild, including what we believe to be a Hello Dolly parody that has been stuck in my head as an earworm ever since. I think I have said, "Have you heard about Spike? He's going to speak," every day since we watched that.
Yeah, it's pretty iconic, like 90s, early 2000s, like parody song commercials stuff with little kids. It's like very Tim and Eric. Like
it's very Tim and Eric, but I don't know if it's iambic pentameter or it's just the mouthfeel of it. But have you heard about Spike? He's going to speak is like there's something powerful to that. It's like an incantation. Yeah. I think people said it enough, and that's why he spoke.
Yeah, it could be like a witch's mantra.
I will say there's absolutely nothing that would get me to go back to watch that movie, though. I do not think you could get me to watch Rugrats Go Wild. We saw enough in those clips.
That's true.
You know what? No, I'm wrong. I just lied. I would do it if I had the scratch and sniff card. The whole point that we covered it is because they ripped off John Waters and had this thing called Odorama. And we thought that was great. And I remembered having it as a kid. I did do it in theaters. I would do it again as an adult. Because I think that sense memory of the sense that would take me right back. Now I'm going to waffle and go the other way because we did watch the clips. There's only 6 times where they have the scratch and sniff, and they were mostly bad smells.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like a gimmick like that, though. I like a 4D gimmick.
Well, maybe our next movie we can make a smell-o-vision version. At least for one screening.
I mean, this scene that we're going to see today from Motorama, it could have
deserves a smell.
We did talk about adding that as a segment. What scratch and sniff would you have in this minute? I think this minute will have some. This is a stinky minute.
All right. I'm excited for that. Maybe.
I see you have your background. I know you're excited.
This could be a scratch and sniff in itself, honestly, each one of these.
Do you
know what this is?
It's a meatloaf, of course, right?
Yeah, it's a preparation of meatloaf. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks very Thanksgiving-y.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people eat meatloaf on Thanksgiving.
I don't think they do either, but something about that particular preparation it's evoking Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think you use stuffing in most. Like you have to have breading. That's what that is, I think.
Do you like meatloaf? Do you eat meatloaf regularly?
I do like meatloaf. A good meatloaf is, I think, feels like home, you know?
I don't think I can relate to that at all. I don't think I like meatloaf. Meatloaf is the same as like Sloppy Joe, right? It's kind of, or no?
No, it's more of it's more condensed than a Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe is sloppy. Meatloaf is like a.
But yeah, that's a different form factor. But
like slice it like that kind of, you know?
Okay.
I'm pointing at the right thing. I don't know. My background's always fucked.
I don't think I would like it. I like Meatloaf the Man, rest in peace, more than I think I like Meatloaf.
Well, I mean, that was obviously the reason why I had the background for Meatloaf, the preparation of Meatloaf. I'm preparing for Meatloaf, who I think is in this next minute, potentially.
Yes. I mean, if he's not, we're in his domain. It's his part of the movie.
So I'm prepping for Meatloaf. We'll see.
How are you feeling now that we've got, we're on the downswing. We've hit the peak. We're 43 minutes covered, 43 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a big turning point in the story, hopefully. I think so. I mean, we're approaching like a new location, and he's been through some shit. So I think there's going to be either like a dive downward or upward, jump up or down. He's going to go up or down in his the
arc, yeah,
the arc of the story.
So what's interesting to me about this movie is that a lot of films at a certain point, it's kind of cards on the table, right? We've introduced the characters, locations, plot devices. Everything has been set up. Now we're just going to see a bunch of shit get paid off. Hopefully in a satisfying way that feels surprising but inevitable. In Motorama, they keep introducing new characters, new plot elements, new lore, truly up until just before the final sequence, where then for the first time we actually return to something we've seen before.
Yeah, but I think he's just gonna keep getting like battered until he's like,
oh yeah,
his adult version of himself by the end of the movie, which is like, you know, I think that's just gonna be his trajectory. That's my guess because I forget.
You've seen the movie.
I've seen it once, but I don't remember. I've seen it once and I don't remember.
I remember
watching this movie 1 minute at a time. You know the movie inside.
I know
and
it
out.
inside and out.
Honestly, I don't even know what happens. I don't know what Meatloaf does. I think they do. I don't know. I don't really want to guess.
Yeah, don't spoil it. But
that's the whole thing. I don't remember what happens. I remember like the end, kinda, and I kind of remember, but I don't remember the journey really.
I mean, I think that's worthwhile. I think that's part of the fun of the movie. It keeps it fresh. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I think part of the reason I remember it so well is because I cut the minutes for the show.
Well,
I have thought about the movie in minute by minute increments prior to then watching the minutes, but I have not rewatched the minutes. So I couldn't tell you exactly what's going to go down today, but I know where we are in the movie, and that's where it really, that's the thing that I've been learning the most is how I feel about the pacing of the movie, because this is one of those times where we're going to be in this bar, this like rough and tumble biker bar for a little bit. Certainly longer than we are in most locations in the movie. Maybe. I don't want to second guess myself, but I'm pretty sure he's there for a bit.
Yeah.
There's kind of like a beginning, middle, and end of this sequence rather than kind of like the quick hit of the cameo.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure they want to use, I would say at the time, Meatloaf is probably the biggest name in the movie. Maybe.
Probably biggest name proportional to amount of screen time that he gets. You know, he's not the Drew Barrymore blink and you miss it 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not the Jack Nance.
He's on the cover of the movie.
Yeah, no, but he is. I don't know where my copy of it is right now, but he's pretty high build. He definitely is not. You know, they know what they have with Meatloaf here.
Yeah,
and it's not like Jack Nance where it's like, well, we got 5 minutes of Jack Nance, but he's not a draw necessarily, or you know, he's like an actor's actor.
Very specific draw.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any like associations with Meatloaf the Man? How do you feel about him?
I think for the most part, I like his music. It's like very like operatic and like weird. I mean,
yeah,
it's interesting. It's like not traditional rock. It's like very like, I don't know, rock opera almost.
Yeah, operatic theatrical glam rock.
And I like him in Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
From the movie. I mean, those are pretty much my only associations. Besides, I think he like his daughter went to the same high school as my mom or something like that. Like very weird association.
We talked about this.
And his daughter's married to like the guy from Anthrax.
Holy shit. We did talk about this on the show months and months ago because there was a billboard, I guess, near your town, right? Advertising some sort of Meatloaf performance. But it was his daughter organizing like a charity show, but the billboard did not make that clear.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know the details.
That's a weird association, but that is a weird association with Meatloaf. Yeah.
You're only a couple degrees away from it. Well,
preheating.
Unfortunately, one of my, I guess, inseparable for me was that later in life, Meatloaf was on The Apprentice. And I'm like, I don't know if that was the best call. He probably was just fine not doing The Apprentice.
At that time, he probably was just like, whatever. This is one of the last things that I'll do.
Okay. I don't This is
going
like
out on The Apprentice. He wasn't doing anything else, I don't think.
this is like obviously fucking low hanging fruit and like hack comedy to even talk about. But you know, when I was a kid and that show was airing, I didn't have obviously the associations with whatever the host's name is now. But I try to imagine like now I think about what if one of the celebrities that win, they're not like doing a business with him. Like they weren't going around in a suit and like actually fucking working with that dude.
It was
Complete bullshit. Every single part
maybe
of
they
it.
won money for charity. I don't even know what you won if
Yes.
you were into celebrity.
I feel like 99% of, anytime a celebrity's on a game show or on a reality show where they're not actually really, it is for the PR, it is for screen time, it is get that IMDb star rating up, not win. Like it's like when people are on was it like Ellen's Game of Games or whatever, and the runner-ups are like, oh, like you could still donate it to the charity. You don't have to not donate it. You have the money. You are going to donate it. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just for the goodwill.
It's true. I feel like, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's mostly just to promote their own shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's 99% of what all celebrities do. And honestly, you could not. Okay, I hate to do this, Steve, but you could not have given me a better segue into introducing our guest. He is the host of the Disconnected podcast. He is one of the biggest names in the physical media world, which if you're outside of that world, you might go, are there names in that world? The answer is yes. Please welcome Ryan Verrill, the Disconnected.
I can't believe you just pulled me in here to be the Celebrity Apprentice follow-up. Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Hello. I am thrilled to be here to listen to a grown man say that meatloaf is sloppy joes and be so wrong.
Yeah. I don't eat either of them. I can't remember the last time I had a sloppy joe.
As a very recently rehabilitated, very, very fat man, I'm sad for you.
It's all right. I'll live. Probably for the best that I don't know the difference.
I mean, yeah, I can't argue that. My arteries would say you are correct.
That's what, like, I didn't have bacon until probably my mid-20s. I now eat it more than I should. And I like think about that first time I had it. And I knew
it's a healthy fat.
Pandora's box. I should have just never had it.
Yeah,
I didn't know what I was missing.
We're all gonna die. You're good.
Fair enough. So I'm gonna just get right out to it. So you're a big name in the physical media world. One of our goals on this show is to try to get this obscure film a new release. It only exists in DVD, 480p, not even widescreen. It's a full screen. We're pretty nervous about why. We think that there's a chance that if they were to expand it, we might see a lot of cast and crew that we're not supposed to see.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Do you think there's any chance? What, like, just completely spitballing?
I will be completely honest. After being asked to come on the show, I did look up the right situation for Motorama, and I do think there's a chance, a large chance. No, probably not, but I think there's a possibility. Sure.
I know there are some distributors that have said even if it was bundled, they wouldn't really want it.
I don't think many would take the risk. I think that is the likeliest, the hardest problem here is that most people would see it as a losing battle, sadly.
That's why we had to carry the flag for it. It was why we started the show.
Every movie needs somebody to carry that flag, yeah.
And I'd say we talk about this pretty much every week, but I think we've successfully carved out our niche as the world's foremost experts on this film. We have, by volume, the most published content connected to Motorama.
100%. Other than that, I think it was a German band that's named after the title. Yeah, I think you are definitely the one.
After the film. They are. Yeah. So it's all comes together.
Yeah, we've truly hyper analyzed to, the reason why we think there might be cast and crew on those extra wide spots is we've found some little errors here and there. Not too many, but just one. Where we're like, hey, that's a cameraman.
Errors in this movie? That is shocking.
And it's interesting because it does take, I don't know that I would have caught them. It kind of does follow that like Scorsese rule of you're locked into the scene, takes that third, fourth, fifth, sixth watch to go, oh, wait a second. Well, except for one moment that is so obtuse that we cannot believe it, where you literally see the guys holding a kite. And we're like, why would we see those two crew members? They're prominently featured.
Yeah, I mean, that's a solid question.
I don't know. We could reach out to Joseph Minion. We could ask him, he is available, but I don't know that he'd really want to talk to us about it. It's worth a shot.
With the right amount of money, I'm sure he would.
Yeah.
That's true.
So this film, of course, is connected to Vampire's Kiss. It's connected to After Hours. It's in that weird kind of thing, but because it is starring a 10-year-old boy, it has its own kind of unique flavor, and it's in this weird Occam's razor's edge thing. I don't know what I'm saying. It's not quite adult. It's not. It's very much. I think a kid could watch this movie, save for a couple of moments where they really decide to go for their R rating. I don't know if that kid's gonna get anything out of it.
Before we decide that, can we determine what an Occam's razor's edge is, please? And then just make that a part of our daily lexicon forever.
It's most likely for adults. If you have to consider if it's on the razor's edge, it is. It's over the edge.
So that's what an Occam's razor's edge is something that's most likely for adults.
If you're weighing the two things, and one of the things is this for adults? The fact that it's even under consideration, yes. Err on the side of yes.
Understood.
Because I don't think people really go the other way. You're not like
so like a non-alcoholic beer is an Occam's razor's edge because it's likely for adults.
A kid could have that, but God knows why they'd want it.
Right? Why would they want to?
Yeah.
Understood.
This movie
is planning like 19 ways to use that the next week now.
Yeah, I know.
Or he's Googling Occam's razor.
I used to do a lot of things that were on the edge of.
Yeah, let's hear one.
What?
Let's hear one.
I don't know. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of sneaking into a movie, like when it was hard to sneak into a movie when it was rated R or something like that.
I genuinely miss being able to sneak into movies. It's almost impossible now. And there's no fun to it either with the subscriptions. I'm not doing anything other than not clicking the thing in the app to allow me to sit in that seat. But they don't even, for the most part, they do not display showtimes. They do not display titles outside the theaters anymore. You just have to know.
That's true. You used to say the time and you could just jump to one. And you go, oh, all right.
I remember being probably 13 when Superbad came out. I went to see it with my buddy. We watched it and we were like, let's watch a double feature. We have nothing else to do. We just finished a great movie. Let's see another. And we just kind of started doing laps around the theater, trying to see if anything was playing that we wanted to see. And the staff must have watched us just go back and forth, and openly debating what we wanted to see. And ultimately there was nothing because Superbad was probably the best thing out. And so we just went home. We bailed.
The other thing I miss about that is that a screen would play a film all day long. Now, so many of these movies will play once an entire day. And if you don't see that, if you work during that time, you're just screwed.
Yes, and sometimes it is a 10 a.m. showing. It's okay,
right.
That's fine, but that's not ideal.
Right.
Yeah. That's tough.
I don't know. I like to mix it up. I will do a very early matinee every once in a while. And sometimes if I know I'm going to see a movie more than once, it's a nice point of comparison. We saw Marty Supreme last night in 70 millimeter, and it was my second time seeing it. So this time, Saturday night crowd, people were really into it. People seemed to get the vibe of the movie. My first viewing was a Friday at 9 a.m. and I was the only person. It was a packed theater, and I was the only person laughing. And so there were moments where I was like, this is a comedy. And there are scenes that, even if you're not finding it very funny, the nervous laughter just happened, and it was just me.
Silence.
And then you feel bad because it wasn't performative laughter, and people do that, especially here in LA. And last night we had a guy that was doing.
Oh yeah, there was one guy
couldn't take it.
He was right behind me. Tough laugh. If it was genuine, tough laugh.
No, here that guy picked moments where
he was drunk or something. I don't either one. Yeah,
because the moments he was picking, they were real laugh lines. He wasn't. The selections weren't obnoxious, but the laugh was, and the laugh was definitely a performative laugh.
Yikes!
So maybe that is my karma. I was in a screening where I was the only one who laughed, then now this guy right behind me. I don't know. I feel like this is a movie where if I saw it with a crowd, you'd get a mix. You'd get those performative laughs. You'd get people that are laughing just because a character actor has appeared on screen. But then there are real, genuine. I think the trope is like big-lipped alligator moments where it's just like, what the fuck is this? Why is this happening? Flea's scenes especially. Flea makes choices in this movie that I could not believe. Probably the stuff that's aged the worst. Flea makes some bold
Speaking
choices.
of things that haven't aged well, Flea.
Yeah. It kills me that they've got all these great musicians in it. Even Andy Summers from The Police is doing the music, but why not grab, like, get Milo to do an original song? Why not?
Yeah.
Get Flea to do something. Put a supergroup together. Why not? Andy Summers, Flea, Meatloaf. They could have done the
time. This is the time they were doing that too.
That would have been sick. I actually that is now my biggest regret about this film. I'll settle for the DVD release. I'll handle the full screen, all of the production errors. But the fact that there's not an original theme with all of the musical talent involved.
Well, the problem is they're not in the movie all at the same time. They're all
no, they did not come into contact at all.
They definitely did not even know they were in the movie with each other. Almost,
No, I'm certain that they might not know that they're in the movie. We joke about Drew not knowing she's in the movie. I bet Flea does not recall this.
Yeah,
he thinks Flea might think
91.
Flea might think he actually worked in a diner for a half day, and there were some cameras there.
I mean, it's very possible that they were in drug-induced stupors, or this was such a flash pan, because they're all just like, I don't know how many days it took to film each person's little segment besides the kid who's in the whole movie.
Only one,
like, I don't know, a couple of days. So that's why, especially Drew Barrymore, she's not even in the movie for how long is she in it? Like 20 seconds?
I think it's 19 was our official count.
It's only that.
And it's unclear if she's playing herself. I'm inclined to think she is.
It's the easiest way to get it done.
Yeah.
No permits. Track them down.
All right, it's time for the hard-hitting interview part of the show. Ryan, you sent over 3 great minutes of movies. We're going to get to all 3 because I love all 3. Oh, geez.
Great.
I just love all 3 of them. One of them we've covered on the show before, but
oh, wow. Okay.
One of them
seems extremely unlikely.
One of them is like my personal origin story as a movie lover. And I'm thrilled about that. Steve might even be able to recall. He's heard it a million times. Do you know, Steve?
What? No.
No, okay. Okay, we'll get to it. But before that, would you like to talk about your announcement?
Sure. And this is difficult because you don't know anything about it, so you have nothing prepared.
I know nada. This could be not funny at all.
This feels a little rude.
Really heavy.
So as of this being posted, I have officially announced my own film distribution company called Antenna Releasing. Yeah. I have been prepping this for the last 2 years. It's been a long time coming. I have started a company with 2 other gentlemen, one named Billy Ray Bruton, who is big in the podcast world. He started a couple of film festivals of his own. And the other one, as I'm hoping to make a lot of people very happy, is our 3rd member of the team is Mr. Francis Galuppi, director of The Last Stop in Yuma County, and he's directing the 2027 installment of The Evil Dead. He is a huge fan of physical media, and I interviewed him on my show, and jokingly in the interview, he's like giggled and said, "Ha, should we start our own Blu-ray company?" I went, do you want to talk about it? And literally 2 years later, here we are. We are launching it, and Fran is the creative director behind our entire company, and it seems surreal to me that we are here.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
so when
I thank you.
When you tell us you've looked into the numbers for Motorama, you can say definitively, this is not a film that will turn a profit even today.
Correct. That was my deduction. Yes.
Fair enough. I mean, that is the double-edged sword, the double-edged Occam's razor of the fact that this film, I would say that I'm like, maybe not a true cinephile if there is one, but I'm a film buff, and I had never even heard of this film until a few years ago when it kind of exploded online by being on YouTube, by being on Tubi, by being on Amazon Prime, and being on these free channels for people to discover it.
Yeah.
The trade-off to that is getting an audience to then go out and buy this film. when they only know it because it's free,
Right.
and it's low budget.
Well, and that's kind of the whole joy of home video and physical media as a whole, because there's so many things on these discs that are, for a film like this, it could be a spectrum of things. It could be educational, it could be entertaining, it could be a drunk commentary of a bunch of critics just shooting the shit. It could be like a deep dive documentary on like, why did you even make this movie? And all of those things could, especially for people that love the show, whet your appetite beyond your wildest dreams. But how many people are actually going to put a disc in the player? How many people want to invest $25 on that or more? I mean, some of these companies that are selling discs are 3 times that much for one disc release, which is crazy. But it is such an interesting sort of landscape of trying to deduce what will work and what will sell. And some really shitty movies have gotten really great releases, and some really amazing movies have never gotten a release. And so it's a weird conundrum to face. Like, what do we even choose? How do you research this? Because this could be the next big hit. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm always interested in those movies where it's like kind of a lost gem, and sometimes that element is not enough to make up the fact that, like, well, maybe they're not always lost for a reason, but sometimes it is a movie that gets that second life, and sometimes it just kind of exists in the canon. But do you have a specific kind of niche that you guys are going to target? What are you guys thinking?
A few things. Funny enough, one of them is some of these lost films, and it is the wide spectrum of time. So it'll be some things that have sort of disappeared off of everybody's radar from decades ago, all the way up to current films. And the reality is, we're losing media at an alarming rate right now. Films that will play a festival and not get distribution, and because of financing or time lost or some producer holding it up or something, won't even go on Tubi, won't go on streaming, won't do anything. And suddenly it's gone. It's literally like a footnote on a Wikipedia page, never to be seen again. And so we're looking at some of those that have been mentioned and not seeing any fanfare throughout the entire world. Another one of those that we love is regional films. And for those of us that love stuff like Motorama, regional films have this, we'll say, reputation of being something that you watch and say, oh, this is like 6 people in a backyard and it's terrible. The regional films that we're talking about are films where the region itself is almost a character. So something like shot in Baltimore, made with the Baltimore crew, made by somebody born and raised in Baltimore, and it like reeks of Baltimore. And that thing is always fun to us. Something where you can tell, like, if we show this in Baltimore, it'll sell out a house. But if you show this in like Topeka, Kansas, everybody will be like, this makes no sense whatsoever. And then another thing that I have been a huge proponent for over the years is short films and mid-length films. Those are nigh impossible to market home video, theatrical, streaming. Like, who is firing up Hulu and saying, I'm gonna go watch this 11-minute short film? So we got our work cut out for us, but I've got some pretty exciting things coming up down that road for people to see coming in the next year or so. Yeah,
this is all super thrilling. Steve and I, as short filmmakers, love to hear that. That is
we'll
definitely
have to talk after we press the end button.
Absolutely. It's one of those challenges where it's like, as filmmakers, you think about, how do you break out of the noise? In a past life, I was an entertainment recruiter. I worked for a major studio recruiting executives, and it was the same thing. It was, how do I get out of the resume pile? You have to understand that, like, whether you're cynically, your product is you as a professional, as a creative, as an executive, whatever your lane is, or it is the work that you're making as an artist, you are one, unfortunately, drop in a bucket, and you have to be the drop that someone either is looking for or discovers and can't turn away from.
That
and
is true.
No one has the magic bullet, and everybody's trying everything, but you have to just keep trying. And what we have found, and what Steve and I have talked about with our group, is just at least for us, there's no consolation prize. The goal is making movies with friends, and as long as we keep doing that, an audience would be great, distribution would be great, all of that could, films like we're talking about right now, films do get rediscovered, but you have to have a film made or no one can rediscover it. And so you just it's the famous Michael Caine quote, why do we fall? So we can get back up. Batman Begins.
Well, and the funny, like, the successful other side of that coin is somebody works their ass off and they make 4 or 5 short films that are all great, and they get a chance to make a feature, and it comes out and it does super well, and suddenly they're off to the races and they're making studio films for the next 40 years. They retire and all is well. The reality is the most interesting story for their life are those 4 or 5 short films when they had no money, they had no resources, they could only make with what they had in their pockets and stored in their attic, and based on those, they were able to make a Batman film, or they were able to break through with like a modern heist film that took the world by storm, and suddenly they could get every chance in the world. But nobody tells that story through the short films. Nobody is recognizing them for the hard work to get there. And some of those short films, they worked on for 4 years. When that heist film that they did was for a year with the studio. That's nothing to them. They did not have the passion into that like they did with those shorts.
And in many cases, these shorts, like you're saying, you can then see the director's evolution. You can see how they became, in some cases, the auteur that we know them as. No pun intended, Steve. But then they get the shorts, the body of work that gets them to the point that they become, a household name or, a filmmaker's filmmaker. That whole body of work just gets quietly erased, and you can't find it. Maybe it played at festivals. You can find traces of it. Like for instance, to bring it all back to Motorama, the original Beau is Afraid short, just called Beau. Can't find it if you don't know where to find. It's out there, but
you gotta dig.
And that's like a perfect example of what we're talking about, because all of those early Ari Aster shorts really kind of demonstrated this is his sensibility. It's the same guy that we see in Beau is Afraid. It's the same guy we see in Eddington, as a filmmaker, not those characters. But what he breaks out with is Hereditary, a film that is, by his own admission, almost a spiteful exploration of the same themes from Beau is Afraid, because he wasn't allowed to make Beau is Afraid. And that's the kind of thing where it's like, all right, people suddenly going, oh, he's such a different, why did he change? No. He took the mask off and went back to what he was doing. And if you see all those shorts, Hereditary is the sharp left turn of a serious 100%. Filmmaker.
Everything is in The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. It is all buried in that short.
And whether that's, coming from real psychosis or a guy who very astutely realizes, oh, everybody has parents and everybody has anxiety. And if you put the two together, you create a universality through this very fucked up specificity. And then he mines it again and again. That's my generous hope for why he doesn't talk about any of his real familial things, is because it's boring, and he knows that, but he knows that there's material to mine here. I hope he's doing well.
For so many of these directors, they have that same thing. It's just not as interesting of a story. I mean, you look at a film, even like Herzog has short films that people don't ever see, people don't ever hear about. You get directors that people have known for decades. They don't know, other than like the 5 films that were the early part of the career. What about the 25 years before that they were toiling with cast and crew everywhere? Those are the stories that truly made them.
Scrappy, learning.
Exactly. They did not emerge fully formed. As much as that mythologizing is nice, that's not the reality.
And how is that inspiring young filmmakers now? Where are these stories in film school?
Interesting. There definitely are filmmakers that are making work that is breaking out, and we're seeing it. I think there's something to be said, and I'd like to see data to support this. I don't have it, but I think some of these breakout talents get scooped up earlier and earlier when they do, thanks to the internet. And sometimes that like gestation period where they are making those shorts might feel like toiling away at the moment, but sometimes it's helpful to go, okay, we put in our 10,000 hours, and this feature that people are going to see isn't just serviceable. It is a benchmark film that then launches a career, or it's a mic drop moment of now you get your blank check. There are filmmakers, and there are films I know coming out this year that don't quite hit the mark, and I don't think it's for lack of a strong idea. I don't think it's for a lack of the right talent and teams behind them. I think it is just you took your bite of the apple very early, and you take your at bat when you have it, but you hope you're only gonna get better.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're these young, I don't want to say who, but look at the slate of movies coming out this year and think about where these bright young upstarts are, and then see how those movies turn out.
You learn most from failing. That's for sure.
That's true. And I guess some of these filmmakers I do think would benefit from failing on a smaller scale.
Yeah,
because
I don't want it to be catastrophic where they have to get out of the industry or anything, but some of these
no.
people, you want a film to land with a thud and not have any, 12-minute overt standing ovation at Cannes. You want them to go, "Oh, you didn't like that. Please tell me why," and find out, "Oh, I was supposed to think about that. Got it. Understood."
And even I think there's something to be said for the candor of going like, okay, I have heard the feedback, I've actioned it, and sometimes the
Yeah.
work speaks for itself, and you can see this play out, which is something that always makes me happy, and it helps me as a filmmaker to go, okay, I can see this director who, by all accounts, has made it. A-listers still reflect and engage and improve. The clear example that comes to mind for me that I always go to is Jordan Peele, where I think, it goes back to what we we're talking about, like you have all this time to make this early work. Get Out goes through a lot of eyes, a lot of folks weighing in, a lot of time to make that script the bulletproof script that we know and love.
Yeah.
Then off the success of that, it goes, hey, we need another movie. We get Us, a movie that's a little bit shaggier. It's doing a different thing. It more clear mixed results. And for my money, gets too caught up in the weeds of trying to over-explain its own lore to the point that the answers we get raise questions that don't quite fit. And I think that that's still a movie that maybe he's licking his wounds from a little bit. He might not ever admit this. This is my own conjecture. I don't know him. But looking at his career,
if you think about it too hard, it doesn't make sense. Like totally, like the mechanics of things. You're like,
and I think people, even if they can't articulate that, they feel that unease in that movie. They feel like something's not fully baked here. Yeah. In Nope, we get far less lore. He only gives us the information we need. He's not interested in over explaining any of it. And I think that's an extremely powerful film. I think it's my favorite of his. I don't know if it, I understand why people might say Get Out is his best, but Nope to me demonstrates a director who is clearly trying something, taking a swing, and the pivot from Us to Nope had me go, okay, I will follow him wherever he goes. I want to see what he does next.
100%.
I think his next movie might take the lessons from Nope and be a little bit clearer and more direct in premise. I think that's where he lost people. I think the average, middle America went, I don't know what that movie is. And that's the benefit of the marketing campaign or the drawback of the marketing campaign, depending on how you want to slice it.
Well, it's also the drawback of being labeled a master of horror after one film and suddenly people thinking that you have everything to sell to them.
Yeah. It's similar thing to Ari Aster, where it's like, okay, well, that's the one thing that I did. It's not the only thing that I do.
Right.
It's interesting to see when directors can do that pivot. And I don't know. I think of like Rose Glass. I think did that pivot really well. Yeah. Saint Maud is a very tight horror film. And then I think it was clear that Love Lies Bleeding was not that, but all the sensibilities kind of carried over.
Yeah.
And now I feel like whatever she does next, I'm not expecting a horror film, but I am expecting a Rose Glass film. Yep. And that's a very quick pivot to do. I almost wonder if Peele would have been better suited not immediately following it up with a horror film.
Unless that's what he wants. And honestly, I think a lot of these breakout directors from the mid-2010s have all that same problem. Your Robert Eggers, you're even like Jennifer Kent with The Babadook and then The Nightingale. Two very straightforward, well, The Babadook a little less straightforward for a lot of people, but very like horror and then horrific. And then there's just not a lot of other things taking place because there's a lot of expectations. Ari Aster, of course, same thing. Yeah, there's a lot happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, Eddington is a film where I still see people really trying to make the case like it's a horror film. I was like, I guess you can really, it's a stretch. That's not what I think what his intentions are. I think that's only by association.
I would not call it a horror film. No.
But that's what I think. Some of that also is A24 trying to leverage what they have.
Well, that and it's a horror film for people who don't watch horror.
Yes.
Yeah. High anxiety, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know about horror.
Yeah. And so that brings me back to Motorama, because that is how I discovered this film. Was I watched Beau is Afraid, had never felt like, okay, I know that whenever I see something and feel like I've never seen anything like this, that is the limits of my own knowledge, my own film diet. So I did my research that led me to After Hours, The Trial, Heathers. So the kind of Rosetta Stone for Beau is Afraid became clear. I really fell in love with After Hours. I was like, oh, this is what I want from this. It's the perfect distillation of this. It's obviously the like forefather of not just that like anxiety nightmare comedy, but everything the Safdies do. It's all right there in After Hours. And so then I went, okay, Scorsese didn't write this. Who wrote it? What else did he do? Knowing that famously, at least the opening of After Hours is straight up lifted from someone else. Shame on Joseph Minion. But at least that led me to, I'd seen Vampire's Kiss too. So I went, okay, I got to see this dude's made 3 major films. Let me see the third one. And why have I never heard of it? And then seeing it's an R-rated comedy with a kid from Full House. That was all I needed. And the rest was, and it was free. So again, maybe if this film was behind a paywall, maybe I don't discover it. Maybe this show doesn't start. Maybe it doesn't get that Blu-ray 4K re-release next year. Fingers crossed. It's going to be our year. I have been slowly for the past few months just like seeding it into online discussion. People will be like, what do you want to see? What, or like, what's your dream Criterion release? Just every time I'll just throw in Motorama. And I don't even justify it. I just throw it in as if it's a movie people know and should also be anticipating. That groundswell, look, we're not taking the internet by storm.
Yeah, you gotta send the vibes. You gotta send the vibes out there.
Yeah, the vibes are out there. It's not even like the Arrested Development. There are dozens of us, because there's probably not. But
there are a dozen of us.
There might be a single dozen, yes, but that's more than we had a couple of years ago. It's growing. The movement is happening.
I mean, every episode we read a comment, so people watch this movie. It's not just us. So
it is organically being discovered. It's not. It's not. I would say, like, if we had a chart of this movie's lifespan, this is the golden age for this film. It did not do great in its very limited festival run. It did not do great in its very limited theatrical exhibition. More people are watching it, discussing it, talking about it, renting it, hopefully, than ever before. And I think statistically, we might have something to do with that.
By definition, I would agree.
So Ryan, let's get to your minutes of movie, because I am very excited about these. We're gonna start with one. It's a scene from a movie that we have discussed before on the show, but not this minute. In fact, when I saw which movie it was, I thought it was going to be this previous minute. I thought, oh, for sure, it's this minute. Everybody loves this minute, and it's not.
Yep.
So then, can you guess which one I'm talking about?
I don't want to give away if it's not that. So
okay. Oh, fair enough. All right.
Because two of them are kind of surprising, probably.
Just let it rip.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna bring this minute on screen. I won't even introduce it. We'll watch it and then we'll talk about it. Oh, even the title withholds the film. Okay, here we go. We'll cut it there because I would just watch the whole movie if I could.
Yeah,
so
same.
Of course, No Country for Old Men. Let's talk about that minute.
I love this minute. So yes, the minute leading up to this is like the tension defining moment, obviously, is when he discovers he's being tracked and can see the start of the shadow play. And that's why I started it right when I did, because you get everything. You get the moment from when Josh Brolin thinks he's outsmarted the guy chasing him and he sees the shadow, but when the chaser suddenly says, no, I can see that you can see my shadow. And he turns off the light. And so now the tension is ramped up. You don't know what's coming. And then it's immediately off to the races. So you get the what the fuck, like debilitating moment of the thing buzzing in through the door. And he's not hurt or anything yet. But then he doesn't make any bad decisions. And that is why I love this minute the most, because every single thing that he does, there is not anything that you could tell me would be a smarter decision here. He shoots and immediately runs. There is no, I'm going to take cover. There is no, I'm going to try to get another shot. There is no, I'm going to go after the guy. They are overpowering you. You have no choice. So to shoot and run immediately is the smartest possible thing ever. And then filmmaking wise, the smartest thing that they could have done is immediately showing him almost getting shot through that window right there. It is the scariest thing to see that somebody who is just shot at can have the willpower to respond so quickly to almost take your head off within another 6 seconds. Holy shit. That is amazing filmmaking. I'll stop there so you can catch up.
Oh, well said. My takeaway from this minute is, of course, this is a modern Western, but this minute really distills that. It's unmistakably,
100%.
From the blocking, the rhythms, this is a Western. This is a shootout. I mean, quite literally, but, different than you might see in, a film that is not playing to those genre hallmarks.
Right. And it's about a guy from a very small town who is, through films, always been looked down on as essentially stupid. And for all of these decisions to be the smartest ones, like, how do you get in a shootout and go down to the lobby and immediately go back into the hotel? Anybody in their right mind would run down the street. And again, dumbest decision possible because he can see you. So to run back in and go out the other door, you would think the wisest possible thing to do here. And the tension just ramps up in all those moments. Seeing the blood, seeing the fact that he would shoot somebody completely unrelated to this, that no matter what, he's coming after you and your entire family. I think this is one of the best minutes of cinema ever.
Yes, absolutely. And also, for me, just top of mind because of it being out in the last year, makes me think of Josh Brolin's character in Weapons, who is not making smart decisions in that way.
Not at all.
Really would benefit from.
Yeah.
That is a character whose decision-making frustrated me throughout in a way that felt compelling. He felt real, felt authentic. I believed this guy existed. But goddamn, if he wasn't making things harder for himself at every turn.
So true.
Okay, this next minute is a complete vibe shift. This could not be, well, it's still a through line starts to emerge, the intensity of these minutes. But this is a different minute tonally, I would say. This is another movie that I really love. One that I think is, again, instantly recognizable. A moment that if you've seen this movie, I think there's only a couple minutes of this movie that really go like, oh, that's the minute of the movie. And this is one of them.
Goodbye, my darling. Goodbye. I think I'm gonna faint.
It's pretty scary.
It is.
Christ.
For those listening to the podcast, that has to be one of the most odd minutes.
Can you guess what it is by just the audio?
Yes, that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That is the acid melting scene from the climax. What a movie.
Yeah. I think for me, this was, first off, like one of the first things that opened my eyes to what movies could do as a kid. And obviously the whole mixed media of it is enough, but then to like realize as you're seeing this, some of the making of behind this movie as a kid was monumental for me. Just seeing how you have like one of the literally the greatest actors of his generation doing some of the best responsive acting to things that are not in the room with him in ways that I can't name a single other actor at the time who could have done it the way that he did. Even like
Roger.
I want to see that screen test. Yes, absolutely, Roger.
No, Bob Hoskins, amazing.
Bob Hoskins, he he's done some of the best films of all time and some of the best acting, and then he gets to this and pulls off scenes that they're aping like some of the greatest noir films of all time, and even those guys could never have dreamed of doing anything like he pulls off in this film. He outshines all of those classic performances, and I will stand by that any day of the week. I don't think Jimmy Stewart ever could have done what Bob Hoskins did in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, ever.
He sells it.
Or have like the patience to. I feel like all those guys would be like, fuck this.
Day 2, this is too frenetic.
Yeah.
Bob, get me off the scene. They couldn't do it. And then to have Christopher Lloyd like stand in there and be one of the most recognizable people and like lower himself in a way to be melted in an acid bath and be steamrolled right before this. Like all of this scene is first off terrifying the way that Steve said, and then it leads to like a true appreciation for what you can do with movies. Anyways,
I've loved this movie for a long time, and I also just generally have a soft spot for these zany, unique, especially live action animation hybrids. I cannot wait for Coyote vs. Acme. I'm so glad this is the light of day. And growing up, like I'm a child of the 90s, so like I really loved Space Jam, and I still have a soft spot for it. But as a kid, Space Jam has all the recognizable IP. Right. Is a 70-minute commercial, and so I like it was more like a candy bar movie than Roger Rabbit, which I liked but could not appreciate on the level that I can now.
Right.
And only as an adult was it like, oh, this is just head and shoulders above anything else in that live action animation hybrid.
Yeah.
Nothing comes close. It is the be all end all. And I don't think a movie like this will ever get made again for better or worse. Like it's been done.
I'm glad you mentioned Space Jam. I was so ready for you to praise Rockadoodle and discuss Rockadoodle for the next 15 minutes.
Space Jam 2, pretty rough. Space Jam is not doing too well. I think it's going to be put out to pasture now.
Could you imagine in 1996 when you were watching the VHS of Space Jam for the 74th time that one day there will be a sequel to that movie with the nuns from the Devils in the background?
I mean, that's the best part of the movie is the like I Spy crowd scenes.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
is where someone put some love and care into a movie that did not have very much love and care put into it.
That's true.
I will say, a thing that has changed my perspective on Space Jam, which I think we've also talked about this on the show in the past, is that as a kid, I guess I understood who Bill Murray was, but not that he was playing himself in a movie necessarily. So I thought Bill Murray was just like playing a character where he was just like, I guess, Michael Jordan's annoying friend. And so at the end when he comes in and it's this big hero moment, I was like, all right, yeah, like it's his pal. Like, okay, sure. Like it struck me as like a Sandler comedy-esque, like, and now Rob Schneider's gonna do a bit. And I was like, okay, sure, like, haha. Only as I was like, okay, yeah, no, they're just like milking the fact that Bill Murray is playing Bill Murray. Yeah, that did not land for 5-year-old me.
Nor anybody else that watched it as 40-year-olds. That's okay.
Fair enough. That and the fact that it was a real moment of like movie magic disillusionment, knowing that those are child actors and not Michael Jordan's actual kids. It's kind of like, well, it's not like they're asked to do that much. They couldn't have tried to get his kids. It doesn't matter.
Even worse, what if they did? And this is like the 8th attempt. And the first 6 times we're like, guys, we cannot release this in theaters.
They sit down to talk to MJ and they're like, hey, so we did some auditions with your children and we don't really know how to say this. Fuck them kids.
Your real son sucks at basketball. We need to.
I mean, that's the plot of Space Jam 2. LeBron's kid sucks at basketball and likes video games.
And that's it. That's the only personality traits.
That's how they got the idea, and then they sat on it for 25 years or whatever.
That's a movie that's only going to age worse because the whole thing is WB making this like nasty algorithm and putting all their IP into it. God, that is brutal. Not good. Nope. I actually think there might not be a movie from the past 6 years now that I think will age worse than Space Jam 2.
Oh, God, that's a fun debate topic.
Because there's just so much in it, right? There's like so many moments where it's like, oh boy, this.
It's a great question. And all I want to make now are political jokes, so I'll keep my mouth shut. But
Oh well, yeah, fair enough. There are, plenty of stuff that might not age too well. Okay, so the third minute that you have shared with us, Ryan, this is a minute that is near and dear to my heart. I first saw this minute of movie 3 years old. I walked down the stairs. This is like a formative memory for me. It's like probably 7 p.m., right? I'm a baby. And I'm like, I want to see like what happens in the adult world after I'm sent to bed. What kind of TV do they watch? I hear the TV is on. I come down the stairs, and my distinct memory is I'm on the staircase because I have to be high enough to look over the couch to see the screen.
Yeah.
And I'm looking through the slats, and I see, without context, this minute of movie. And it imprinted on me and scared the shit out of me. And only years later, well, probably not that long because this was a staple in my household. But eventually I discovered the context of this. I was like, okay, the movie's not scary. But like, oh my God, this minute. This is possibly one of my favorite minutes in all cinema. Steve, can you guess the minute? We've talked about it before.
Yeah, I know which one. It's Willy Wonka.
You know it.
Yeah, I know it is. Willy Wonka tunnel.
Tunnel scene, of course.
Earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. There's no knowing where we're rowing or which way the river's flowing. Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a-blowing? Not a spot of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing! Does it go far enough? Quite right, sir. Stop the boat. We're there.
Where?
Here. A small.
Amazing.
This
Truly
is
horrifying.
truly. I was going to throw in. I think this is the best depiction of a villain, maybe ever. I think this is one of the most sinister scenes from a film of all time, literally.
Yes, I think there's something about like his completely inscrutable motivations in almost every minute of this movie, but especially here.
Yeah.
Scary. For the sake of being scary.
I mean, his motivation is like, I'm gonna sort of fuck with these.
Fuck with them.
He's
Exactly.
toying with them,
Yeah,
literally.
he's just like, I'm just gonna fuck with these people. like it's a big game for him, and he's the only one like laughing. It's really like he's not sharing it with anyone, so it's like more fucked up because he's just like, this is what I get a kick out of. Not the like, I don't know.
Yeah. And there's a lot of moments like that where it's clearly that Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka does shit to entertain himself. And,
Oh yeah. For
his
Tons
own
of
kind of like, amusement, whether people are in on it or not, which I really love. There's a common refrain on the internet that we were robbed of, if there ever were an American Doctor Who during the original classic series run, Gene Wilder would have been the American Doctor Who. And I think nowhere is that clearer than as Willy Wonka, where he's having fun, but he's also sinister. You kind of never know if he has your back or if he's going to throw you under the bus or do both. I love this minute. I can't get enough of it.
Those flashes that you see in the tunnel, and then he yells stop, and you get it's not even like a full half second of blackness. In that split second, you have no idea what is about to be on screen. You could guess 8,000 things, and all of them could be feasible. And one of them is like a torture chamber. And you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, that is incredible. That is a genius filmmaking. And following the childlike vulnerability of this chocolate river they just saw, how fucking terrifying is that? It's incredible.
Well, it's like gaslighting too. Like, because
Yes.
he's like, yeah, we're here. Like, what?
Yeah.
That wasn't
What's the
fucked
problem?
up. Yeah,
Yes.
that wasn't fucked up at all. Like, let's just keep going. Like, it's just like,
The
and
torture-
it's like night. That's kind of like a nightmare where you wake up
Yeah.
and it's like, well, that didn't happen to me, so like, get over it.
I may have just killed a couple kids. No big deal.
Yeah, right.
And there's something structurally about when it happens in the movie, because it is immediately after Augustus Gloop has died. So that means we've only have the one instance of what's going to become a familiar structure and pattern. Like part of what makes this a comfort watch is at a certain point you're along for the ride and you kind of know the rhythms. The movie, as great movies do, it teaches you how to watch it. But when you're watching it for the first time and you have this, you're not sure what's going to happen. No single character on that boat seems safe. And I also think there's a veneer of all the parents in the movie up to this point of like, that everything is kind of business as usual. Sure, there's the novelty of we're here at this factory, but the factory is a part of their town. It's still in the realm of the known, even though it's, they're coming behind the gate for the first time. Yeah. Here, the parents are terrified. And I think as a kid seeing that adds that other level of just, oh, this is wrong. This is not right.
Agreed.
What a good minute of movie. And something that, shockingly, as many times as we get a different version of the Willy Wonka story, no one even attempts to go anywhere near this space.
There's no reason to.
I mean, I'll say if they want to do another Timothée Chalamet Wonka, I want just this stuff. Give me 90 minutes of this. Give me the Terror Vision version of it.
Yeah. 92 minutes of never knowing which way this is going. That'd be great.
And while a montage of him going from the happy-go-lucky Harry Potter adjacent version into this version where he is, this curdled man who, he's got this hope that at the end, Charlie will win and he'll have his heir apparent. He's betting against that the whole time. So he only has that, Grinch style, Scrooge style change of heart in that moment, right at the end. So this whole time he is plotting on all 5 of these kids. He knows they're going to fuck up and earn their deaths, which, thinking about, a lot of people go, oh, you could interpret it as a horror movie. The kids get picked off one by one. Yes. And they also all, by the cinema grammar, deserve it. And the movie teaches us why.
Well, for sure. Yeah.
It's essentially a Saw film. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if any version has ever shown us the scene from the book where the kids survive, but they're all fucked up. It's like body horror.
Yeah.
That is something I would also love to see if and when they make another attempt at this. Well, I guess, that is my note across the board. Lean into it. Make it horrific. Go for the scary version. Give me the other side of what a Tim Burton Willy Wonka would have been. Don't give me the multicolor pastel Edward Scissorhands Big Fish style version that we got. Give me the gothic, gross, nasty version.
Please. Willy Wonka plus the ugly stepsister, and I'm in.
Yeah. And they can keep Timothée Chalamet. I didn't love him in Wonka, but if he feels so strongly about the role, I'm not ready to recast Wonka again. He's in.
Just have him play as Marty Supreme still.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Keep the makeup, keep the prosthetics.
Keep the
Wonka is just aging poorly. He's a shut-in now, so he goes from being the charming young, whimsical one to already he's starting to, again, curdle. He curdles into the Gene Wilder version.
And really great at table tennis for some reason.
Yes. He's keeping his skills sharp. He plays with the Oompa Loompas. He taught them all how to play. That is, but the problem is, can't do the orange ball with the Oompa Loompas. He's got to still do the white one.
Because they're so short, it blends in with their face because they're
short, they're
people level.
I mean, you call it Wonka Supreme. It's right there. It's the sequel to both. You don't even have to rebrand it.
It's true.
Is it Willy Wonka 2? Is it Marty Supreme 2? It's both. It's Wonka Supreme. That also sounds like a good candy bar. They have like the deluxe, Wonka Deluxe, whatever. Wonka Supreme. I'd be like, yeah, give me a Wonka Supreme.
Got it. Yeah.
Do you guys ever have the like Wonka bars that they sell in stores?
Hell yeah! I was a fat kid. I said that.
Do you like them though?
No,
they're bad, right? Okay, they were bad.
I love
you
sugar.
Want them to be good. I always wanted them.
Yeah. Of course.
And I think they all came with the golden ticket, which was also like cute, but not what I want. I do want it to be part of the like one in every 100.
It's a golden ticket, but all of them are like you lose. It's golden ticket, but
See a doctor because you might have diabetes.
Yeah, you only had
The
to open
Surgeon
them. You didn't have
General's
to eat
warning.
the whole case. I actually think that is a note that I've had the last time I watched Willy Wonka. I think is it Veruca's family where she's having they're all like opening and like eating them. So they don't
Hiring
have to be
people to do
eating
it.
them. They could just open the bars and fucking throw the chocolate away. You don't have to suffer. You know, the Wonka Golden Ticket game is not that different than Motorama, the game in
That's
the
true.
titular movie. It is a scam game of inscrutable motives that children are immediately enamored with. And actually, when we start this minute, we're going to be seeing Gus, our main character, kind of take stock of how well he's doing at the game. So before I cue up this minute, Ryan, tell me, as a baseline, what do you know about this film? What are the facts?
Oh, so little. I was told that it was funnier if I knew very little, so I have not Googled it. I've not looked it up on IMDb. You said somebody from Full House is in it, and even that is a surprise to me. The only thing I know is from the 2 episodes of this that I've listened to before this. Apologies. It sounds honestly kind of typical of the films that are being released by all these home video labels right now, and I'm kind of surprised that nobody has. So yeah, let's see it released. Come on.
Yeah.
That's the thing is it's I can understand if this film was a regional film like we talked about, but it isn't. These are names. There's
Right.
enough folks in this that somebody could see this as a it's not obviously the I think it was Columbia Pictures Sony that put it out at some point, Sony TriStar. It's clearly not a crown jewel for them, but for a smaller distributor who doesn't have these kinds of things, maybe a distributor that's about to launch might see something in this film. Who knows? Maybe this minute turns the tide.
You said that, I immediately thought I would be desperate to see this in a Columbia Classics Golden 4K box set for $140 with 5 other movies.
Honestly, yeah, just throw it in. It's the type of thing that I could see as one of those. It's not one of the featured titles, but it's like the bonus feature on another title.
It's a B-side.
Yeah, they went, okay, it's like we have Vampire's Kiss, and then we just had Motorama, so here it is.
Except it'd be something crazy, sort of unrelated, because you could say from the writer of After Hours, so it'd be The Age of Innocence. Oh, and Motorama.
Yeah. Or maybe it gets. Well, there's actually another. I have to pull it up right now. There's another Drew Barrymore movie where she plays. Is years later plays a character who is similarly just called Dream Girl, and she has very thin characterization, and it's once again ambiguous. It's not that. It's not Mad Love. There's another one. I can't find it right now. We talked about it before, but a similar movie where she's just ambiguously, is she playing herself? Is she playing a Drew Barrymore type? Who's to say? But also, go ahead.
I was very saddened to hear of the episode where you covered the Drew Barrymore minute, and the individual did not know Whip It and some of the other great movies of cinematic history featuring Drew. So I just lamented that I could not have been on that episode.
That is unfortunate.
I'm sure that's the minute everybody's fighting for on this one, though.
Well, we tried so hard to get Drew herself, but we don't think she knows she's in the movie. It's on the cover.
That's a great question.
I mean, that was
funny enough. I may have been able to get the answer to that question if I had been on that episode.
Damn.
I'm close with somebody who does the sound for her daytime TV show.
That's amazing. We should find out just if she knows that she's in the movie and if she has any opinion on it whatsoever. That's what we want to know, because she's absolutely the face of it. She's on the cover. There are 2 taglines for the film, both of which invoke her, even though, again, as we said, 19 seconds, one single scene where it's a dream sequence. And as we discovered recently, there's a still on the back of the DVD that features her like arm around the shoulder of our main character, who otherwise they're not in the same shot in the scene.
Right.
So that's the only proof we have that they actually even met, and that might not be a real shot. That might be a composite.
It's proof with quotes around it.
That's how it feels. It feels like, no, look, they totally met and were on set together.
Well, I believe one of the shots looks like it could have been on green screen, but then there's another one that really does feel like she's on a beach, and they were like, I don't know, we just really should shoot something. But otherwise, it looks like they could have just found her in a lot. It was like, hey, look over here, and then that was it.
Anything for promo, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think she had done 3 collaborations with the production banner that put this out. So I think it was a favor that was called in, but it's just interesting to see like why, of all the cameos in this film, that's the one that they really thought this is how we're going to sell the movie.
Yeah.
Somebody at some point, and I would love to know, and maybe we could get Donald P. Borchers, producer of the movie, who called this podcast, quote, awesome, and has threatened twice to maybe come on the show. Maybe. Donald, please, we want to talk to you, because he'll know. He'll just know the answers for all of this. We don't have to speculate. Folks will listen to 40 hours of us just wondering, and he'll come on and go, it's this, it's that. Yes, it was a favor. No, she doesn't know she's in the movie. But he would know.
Come on, Donald.
At some point, I want to know if like they thought it was their pitch or someone else said, we think we can sell this if you really push the Drew Barrymore angle. And they went, okay, fine. You know, was their hand forced, or is this, you know, they really think that was going to move the needle? Because it didn't work. Sorry.
It didn't work yet. We might still do it.
I guess, you know, and maybe it's egg on my face because maybe the fact that the show exists is proof that it worked 30 years later. It didn't work when it was supposed to.
This is a very ineffective proof of concept.
Yeah.
That sounded mean. I did not mean it to sound mean.
I mean, I would absolutely look. We've talked about if we can't get a re-release, and a 35 millimeter print of this film exists. It's screened in 2024 in Toronto, so it's out there. A 4K could potentially get made, but we're pretty nervous about what's hiding just outside the edges of the frame. And if we can't get a re-release, then we want to do a remake or a legacy sequel. We've pitched Motorama 2049. I think that sells itself.
Yep.
You get Chalamet.
Movie. Get the kid. He what is his name? Gus is the character name.
JC Meigs.
JC. We call him JC Meigs. Jordan Christopher Michael of Full House fame. He was a bully in, I believe, 4 episodes of Full House, one of which voted by fans as the number 1 episode of Full House. And that is his claim to fame. And he's good. I mean, he's still around. If we could get him back, he doesn't have this, you know, he's not going to sell a movie. Can't open a movie on JC Meigs, but at least he's there.
His Wikipedia page doesn't even exist. Everybody else has a clickable link but him.
He's the star.
And it's
hidden star.
It's a legit bummer because he is a kid. He's 10 years old. I'm pretty sure he's actually like 10 or 11, playing 10 or 11 in this film. Maybe he's 12. But he's, as far as child actors go, very, very good in that it's a 90-minute movie and he's in every single scene. And you never are like, there's give or take a couple moments where I might have tried to get a different performance, but like he's good. I think he's really good for this. It's shocking that this didn't lead to like even like a more of like a recurring sitcom role or something.
Yeah, he should have been on like a Disney Channel movie or something else, but nah, it doesn't seem like it.
Sad.
Did maybe a McDonald's commercial or something.
He could have been one of the Home Improvement kids.
Yeah, but again,
exactly.
He's around. He could come on the show and tell us. He could give us the tell-all. He could tell us.
I auditioned for all of those things, and I fucking didn't get them.
Well, that's why we're here to revive.
He's like Malcolm in the Middle. He's like every single thing.
I got speaking of Malcolm in the Middle, I got a package recently from a production company that we've worked with, and they addressed the package to Frankie Muniz, and I think they were being cute. They were being cute, but then I opened it and it was like a little Christmas card, but the Christmas card just said Frankie, and so like there is a chance that this like was not supposed to go to me, and so I did do like a post as like a little thank you to show that I'd received it and acknowledge it, but also kind of let them know low key, hey, if this wasn't supposed to go to me, it did. And they didn't say anything. So Frankie, if you did not get your Bad Orange Entertainment Christmas package, hit me up. I have it.
Did the card also say congrats on all these stock car races?
Yes, and it said we can't wait to watch Malcolm in the Middle, whatever the subtitle is. Why didn't they get the original Dewey? They no one told them that he didn't want to do it anymore.
Where's Danny? Never mind. That's a bad title.
Okay, it is time for minute 44 of Motorama. This is a minute that I'm so happy to see. We've said it before, we have seen the fuck around part of the movie. We're in the find out.
All right.
Play MOTORAMA.
Go work for someone else. The guy was the same way when he worked for me. Just because he's past his 30s.
It's hot. All right, we did. Thank God we got a little bit of meatloaf in there at the last second.
Wow, just a little bit of we're still in the
little
prep
bit, though.
stage.
Wow.
All right, Ryan, your first thoughts. What's your first impressions?
That was a super long minute.
It's true. You feel it. You
not
feel
only
it.
that.
Sometimes it
Yeah.
feels like they cover so much in 60 seconds. Other times it does feel like it's a little. You really feel the rhythms of each cut.
I laughed a little bit because I assumed there was something that was supposed to say Motorama. It just looked like they were advertising for the Museum of Modern Art because all that was left was MoMA.
Yes.
And then I'm glad to see that in the 90s the pigs were allowed to shop at Hot Topic. But that was it. Just a classic full minute of a kid eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in a bar.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird food stuff happening in this movie, mostly at the periphery, and that's another moment where it's like, yeah, what did he order and from whom to get served? What looks like a peanut butter jelly sandwich and maybe some loose pretzels. It's kind of hard to tell what else is on that plate with him.
And like a coffee, maybe, because he ordered a coffee at the beginning of the movie. Maybe
Yes.
that's a coffee mug. I don't know. At a bar.
In a biker bar.
Yes, in a biker bar. A challenge that I have with this scene is that since probably the past 10 minutes of movie, there's been a series of mishaps that have befell poor Gus as a result of he has run out of money. Starting with him being forced to siphon gas to keep driving and keep going to these gas stations to play Motorama. He then gets caught siphoning gas. It becomes a whole thing. Hence the eye patch. He's seen better days when we joined him in this minute. But he hasn't done anything as far as we know to fix the he has no money problem. So how he's getting gas, how he's getting food, how he's getting new Motorama cards, I wouldn't care normally. It wouldn't matter. I'm happy to suspend my disbelief, but I am a screenwriter. And the movie told me and went out of its way to go, there are consequences to Gus not having money anymore. And then within 10 minutes, went, who gives a shit? He's good. He's back on the road. He's got money. He's got gas. Actually, don't think he's ever going to struggle for either of those resources again for the rest of the movie. I think there's just there's bigger problems that he's got to deal with. But again, I wouldn't care if the movie didn't tell me I was supposed to care.
Are you sure he didn't siphon 814 gallons of gas maybe in that one fell swoop?
The trunk is just full of gas.
Well, what's funny is they make a little snide comment when they're letting him, when he's running away after they have beaten the shit out of him and allegedly he's supposed to lose that eye. They let him know, you can keep the gas that he was siphoning. And it's like, all right, fine. It's not even clear how he finds the car. He just has the car again.
That's true. That is a weird step.
Seems like, wait, I did not think about that.
He runs away from the hotel or wherever he is. He gets his eye taken out. Yeah.
This is
he never finds the car. He's just driving. I don't remember.
He's just back in the car. Yeah. This is a movie that part of the fun is how much it over explains things it doesn't need to, how much it doesn't explain things it definitely needs to, and it's like it's watching the movie for the first time, especially not knowing where it lands on a tonal standpoint or literally how much it's engaging with its own premise. the first time you watch it is like hearing someone tell a story where they've forgotten to give you the main information you need, and 2/3 of the way in, you're like, oh, okay, you're talking about a dog and not a person or whatever.
Yeah.
Like this movie does not explain what Motorama is until we're 20 minutes in, and our character is supposedly been motivated for everything he's done up until that point because he already knows, but then it doesn't. Then he's learning it doesn't make sense. It's this weird like Ouroboros thing where he both learns about it and has always known about it, and there's beauty in that, but I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just shaggy filmmaking.
And then there's an eye patch and a tattooed pig.
Yeah, he's slowly becoming like a young little Snake Plissken. And I will say, I forgot about the tattooed pig. That's some pretty fun foreshadowing. That's pretty on the nose, I would say.
I don't know if I've ever seen a tattooed pig. So
well, I've never seen a living tattooed pig, but I know that is like a common, like pig skin is common for tattoo apprentices to practice before you move on to real skin. Because there are
that is true.
I think now they use like a lot of synthetics. I don't think they probably use real pigs all that often. I'm curious if that is a real tattooed pig or if that is effects and makeup. With a movie like this, the odds of it just someone just had a tattooed pig.
Like, oh yeah, one of our extras brought their pig.
Or it's a PA with like peel and stick tattoos with a washcloth and like there it is, just left on the skin.
The other side is like Lisa Frank.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, turn the pig around.
Doing another film in the next scene.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I forgot that the pig was in it. Delighted to see a nice hog. Always happy to see one in a film. I think we talked about animals in this movie. I think that's only the second animal we've really seen in this world. There's a lizard or a squirrel or something that he almost hits. B-roll of a squirrel. He swerves out of the way. Remember that, Steve? It's a very, very clear licensed stock footage. This is finally an animal in scene with him.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of a bummer.
You want more?
I don't have anything to really say about the pig. It just
you want more animals? Is that what you're saying? You wish they had like a dog with them?
I wouldn't mind. I mean, we talked before about like, is there a missing essential element to this film of like some kind of character for him to be a foil with Gus on this journey to really put in perspective that he's a 10-year-old kid who, not clear in this minute whatsoever, Ryan, but the magic of this movie is people perceive him to be an adult until he corrects the record and tells them he's a kid. If he doesn't tell them, they don't know.
So he is literally an Occam's razor's edge then.
Yes, they just think he's an adult. And he's doing things throughout the movie that only make sense if it's a kid. Like the whole movie operates on a kid's idea of an adult. We as adults go, oh, you're playing like gas station McDonald's Monopoly? That's a scam. Nobody wins that. He as a kid thinks, well, I'll win this and then I won't have to get a job. Like this is my opting out of capitalism. And I'm gonna do it because I'll just play the game until I win. Not knowing the whole system's rigged.
Just brilliant.
The Meatloaf cameo is nice. Meatloaf doing the arm wrestling in the back is good. I don't know that feels like a stock image from like movies that I don't think really happens. Like arm wrestling in a bar.
Yeah.
Feels like out of SpongeBob.
It's just assumed that in every biker bar they're always arm wrestling.
Yeah. And there's one guy who's like he's like hustling people, He's
of course.
He's like, oh, by the way, I'm actually right-handed, and he pulled out his big beefy right arm.
That was invisible before that moment.
Yeah, he's got stuck behind his back. Or he like rips his sleeve off and is like, oh, that one arm is jacked. I think being like an arm wrestling shark is a really, really funny. It would be pretty hard to do.
I mean, there's only so many people.
Or you have like
you get found out pretty fast if you were.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking now like if you have like a prosthetic arm and you have like a long sleeve, people can't tell. Although the hand part, they're gonna figure out. I think.
Well, and you wrestle once, and then the sham's over.
You go, hey, you don't really have a good grip going on here, or you have too good of a grip. Oh.
Even better is the way to reveal it. What did you go? Ha ha!
Sliding it down. Hey, your arm is leaking oil. I feel bad for Gus at this part of the movie. He's really going through it. He's losing at Motorama. He's got four letters of it. He's got MoMA. He does not. He needs Torah. He's lost his eye.
Wait, so he needs to be Jewish? Is that what we're saying?
Well, no H. T-O-R-A.
Well, close enough. I mean,
Close enough,
basically, it's a metaphor.
Sure, yeah.
He's got the museum. He just needs the Holy Scripture.
You've opened a can of worms, Ryan, because we do have.
I'm so sorry.
there is an Amazon review that we love from a user called the Night Wolf, who reviewed this movie in 2011 and wrote easily 10,000 plus words. Like, it is a true diatribe about the film, breaking down his spiritual cleansings. Every time he splashes his face with water is like a rebirth. He gets into whether the film is actually a causal time loop or not. He and I actually disagree on this. It is a big point of contention. And actually, the filmmakers and I disagree on whether or not this film has a big reset button or not. I think in the text, it's clear that there is not, because one character is reintroduced with clear physical. A character is put into a full body cast and is still in a full body cast later. So the thing that put him in the cast happened. That to me is a big sign saying the movie happened. Not
was it somebody that was hustled by an arm wrestler with a giant right arm?
No, hustled by our main character, who is getting his first taste of living on the edge. He tricks a guy into getting hit by an 18-wheeler.
Living on the Occam's razor's edge.
A guy who was nice to him and covered for him. He goes, I'm gonna get this guy hit by a truck. Yeah. It is the only thing that suggests that Gus's path is one that he should want to repent from. But when he comes back and this guy is still, in the cast from what he alive at all, yes, but in a body cast, that to me says everything that happened in this movie happened. It was not.
Just to make sure I'm right here, we are lacking repentance because he did not have the Torah. That's still the page that we're on.
Currently, yes.
I can't believe we're at the halfway mark of this movie and we just discovered spiritual rebirth, and I am so in love now.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It totally is about Gus's evolving perception of himself and where he fits into the adult world. And part of that is religion. This is a movie that actually does legitimately have a very bizarre relationship with religion. It's an extremely anti-capitalist film that suggests Gus needs to embrace faith. Like, that is legitimately the lesson that he learned, but only through like background details. And I don't want to get into it too much without spoiling it, but like the film's tone suggests that we see a happy ending, but it's almost like Snowpiercer, where if you think about it, despite the film being like, yeah, look, happily ever after, nothing that they're showing you is good. Like, it's a fate worse than death for this kid,
Right?
Because he is a kid. The happy ending is he agrees to participate in capitalism. Essentially, he goes, okay, I will take my place in the class structure, even though his whole arc is like trying to circumvent that, motivated by a child's naivete of thinking that's possible. But then damning him to the system is like not a happy ending.
I don't know if you've covered this, but that's literally the ending of After Hours too.
Yes, totally. It's a full circle moment. He comes back having changed from the journey and is happy to be resigning himself to the system that he desperately hates in the beginning.
Damn it, Frankie. I wanted to walk away from this never having to think about Motorama again, and now I'm like, I've not seen it. It's somehow my favorite movie of all time.
It's genuinely worth watching. Like, my love for this film, I would say, is really not ironic. I don't have any misconceptions about the quality of the film from a craft standpoint, but it is one of those films where when I did see it, there's a moment about 10, 15. No, Steve, when would you say is the moment where Gus says his big line? We should know, but it all starts to play.
Probably around there.
Around 10
or 11 maybe.
There's a moment where Gus finally tells us, and a character that he's in scene with, that he's underage, goddammit. He's 10 fucking years old. That's when I locked in and went, oh, okay, this movie knows exactly what it is. Which Letterboxd user Grape Juice Plus described it as if David Lynch directed an episode of Pete and Pete that aired on MTV after midnight. And that's exactly what this movie is. And again, thinking about movies like Who Framed Roger Rabbit or the scary part of Willy Wonka, I don't think we'll get a movie like this again. And so
I think it takes some big swings that I don't think most movies don't take regularly these days. You know?
Reminds me another one of these that's kind of been lost for a while. Do you know the movie Hawk Jones?
Oh no.
No.
Like
Hawk
HAWK?
Jones. Yeah, 2 words. It is a movie about detectives solving crimes, all played by children.
Oh,
I'm in.
It is so fucking incredible.
Oh, Hawk Jones. Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, I am in.
Genuinely, I think this is one that you will adore.
Oh, and it's in that sweet spot of it doesn't look like it's streaming anywhere, only exists on DVD. I don't even know if I can find a use. I'm gonna have to find this movie. Poster looks amazing.
It is. It truly is.
The tagline, the movie with the kids in it. That's the tagline. And like, yes, if this was a movie that was contemporaneous, and you're like, what are you seeing? Hawk Jones? What is that? It's the movie with the kids in it. They go, oh yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, all right.
And,
I mean,
and it's played earnestly. That's the best part. Is they know what they're doing. It's not like played for laughs. It's not the butt of all the jokes. It is played earnestly.
I love that. It's the type of thing where it's like you almost typically only see when it is that's the age of the filmmakers and their friends are doing the movie with them, and you know it's like, all right, they're cops and they're like they're in the backyard of the school or whatever.
Yeah.
But because they're all committed, it's just played straight. You never see that with the scale and budget that this might seem to have.
Yep.
Wow. All right. I mean, look, we're always thinking about what movies might we want to cover minute by minute when we wrap up Motorama later this year, which like, oh my God, it's going to happen this year.
That's not our list, Hawk Jones.
This might need to enter the list. Yeah. You know, for a long time, I had thought Speed Racer was like at least a candidate of a movie that I love that I think I could talk about for an extended period of time over and over and over again and never get tired of it. But I think now that it is getting a 4K release, there's not that, dare I say, altruistic reason to want to cover it. I think I need to pick another movie that needs someone to, you know, take up its mantle. Yeah, exactly. And I will say for the record, that's not why I like Motorama. I don't like it because it's an obscure movie. I like it despite it being an obscure movie. The reason I have this show and the reason that so many of our guests come on and go, yes, I've seen the movie because you made me watch it, Frankie, is because I have evangelized it to as many people as I possibly can, because I cannot believe that it has just been collecting dust, you know, in the digital library of possibly Sony TriStar.
Well, and somebody that's entering distribution and has been for a while, that is one of the biggest joys in life, is finding something that so few people know about, and you get to see your own eyes light up and go, okay, listen, you have to see this movie. And after they come back and say, okay, I watched it, they can say it was incredible. Like, that gratifying experience is one of the best highs in the world.
Absolutely. And when you put it that way, honestly, there's a movie that comes to mind for me that I'm like, okay, this would be a good candidate. But it's a movie that very few people have seen because it's in that category that you talked about that are good acquisition targets, where it played at a festival. It did well. I screened it for a festival. I really loved this film. And then it just never found a distributor. And then it was I think 2019. And so then the pandemic happens, life happens. And in this case, the director, I had reached out and now is a mentor of mine, because I just said, hey, I saw this film. I don't think anybody really saw it. Where is it? What's going to happen with it? I have not stopped thinking about it since I saw it, and I'd love to see it again. And so I built a relationship with him, and even he is like an acquisitions executive for an indie streamer. And so that's a person that is not the most connected as you could possibly get, pretty damn well connected in the space that he needs to be to get that movie in front of people, and he's not been able to make it happen. That is a movie that I think, if it even landed on like VOD, would be a good candidate. I don't want to say the title of the movie because I hope it finds a distributor and we can talk about it offline. But those types of movies where like the right audience will show up, and it maybe just needs those few fervent people, those iconoclastic tastemakers, to say, check out this movie. And I think that's also like if you love movies, you probably love recommending movies to people. I don't know anybody
Right.
that like doesn't like the shared cinematic experience. I forget I saw this post recently. Might have been just like a letterbox tweet, and if it wasn't, then sorry to whoever maybe it was the Frida. It was one of my beloved film accounts online. Ryan, you might have even seen it, but it was like the sixth love language is showing a movie you love to someone who's never seen it before. And I think that is such a pure artistic experience. It's something that like only really works with film because it is so immersive. Like it's not the same. Like I love showing people an album or like showing somebody a work of art, like a painting, but that's not the same experience.
Yeah.
Painting you could look at for 10 minutes or you could look at it for 2 hours. You might have a different experience.
Yeah.
Album, your thoughts might wander, you might be doing something. Movie, if you're locked in, that is a true religious experience and a communal experience. And I think there's something to be said for that.
As long as it's not missing the Torah, that's true.
Yeah, poor Gus. And I wonder how thoughtful they were about like that it's fun both ways. The letters he has is MoMA. The letters he's missing is Torah.
There was a big discussion. Debatably too much time was thought about that.
The set dresser had a panic attack that day.
And they make a big deal about it of like, oh, no one can ever get the R. And I feel like that was one where they kind of were backed into there's 2 M's, there's 2 A's, there's 2 O's. If there was going to be a letter that was hard to find, it was really only the T or the R.
Yeah.
And we landed on the R. Which is true to McDonald's monopoly too. You get like, oh, I've got 3 of the 4 railroads, and that 4th railroad we printed 1 of, and nobody has it.
Everybody has Park Place.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
So it is time for a segment that we do, our favorite recurring segment. Ryan, you just anticipated it pretty well. This is called the water break. So we believe that there is a moment in every minute of this movie where Gus, our main character, should have a sip of water. We think that it's a great time. It's the stuff of life. We like everyone who's watching, everybody who's listening. Go ahead and take this moment, have some water, stay hydrated. We always tell folks, especially on film sets, if you are thirsty, that means you are dehydrated. If you can feel it, you need it. And I think that there is a pretty clear moment where Gus should take a gulp. But let's see what we can find. And I'll mute it. So I think in the car is not a bad moment, before he goes in.
He's getting all set. Yeah, that would make
after his little like mocking line.
Yeah, he's really upset with himself.
And he could drink.
He's so upset this chance is not easy to win. And I think when he sees the pig, that's really the moment that I think is, well, God, he's about to go in and sit down and have a meal. So it's hard to say
obvious time.
That's the obvious moment. But here is a moment where he might gulp, and right next to the sign that says beer. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing him really test. Can he be perceived as an adult and try to order a drink? I think the movie wouldn't let him do that, but maybe he did. Who knows what's in that mug?
I love that he's drinking out of a mug and not a cup. That is such a choice.
This might be actually one of the first and only times he actually does drink something in the movie.
Yeah, he could be drinking water.
Yeah, I guess we have to just say that's
he was dehydrated.
He chose a moment. That's the moment. Takes a bite.
Great direction.
All right, that's the water break. That's why we do this segment. I would love to see a version of this movie, and we could do this where we put a little like water bottle symbol on screen every time. That's when you're supposed to take the sip. It's
that's our smell-o-vision.
Yeah. Like I love Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. There's a version of that film, the overly indulgent director's cut, as they call it, that, and I think more films should do this, puts a little guitar pick on screen every time you're in a sequence that is extended in some way. Frustratingly, it's just like holistic. It's like something about this scene is extended rather than it being like, and here's where the extended bit starts. Right. So it makes it a little hard, but I like those kinds of things, those kinds of like interactive viewings. It makes me think of like those old MTV dating shows where the text would pop up on screen, like commentary and stuff. Big fan of that kind of stuff.
Like Cheaters or whatever that show
Yeah.
I thought a VH1 pop-up video. This could be Motorama's bubble up video.
Totally. I feel like they would have enough stories, and there's enough different people funneling in and out of the film that there's always going to be something. That's the same kind of reason that we did the show. Is there's always something happening that's a little bit different. Only minute with a pig so far. First minute with meatloaf.
There's a lot of firsts here.
Yeah. We have a few other segments we do sometimes. I don't necessarily think any of them fit with the content of this minute. But we talked about in our bonus episode last week trying to introduce the scratch and sniff. I think the scratch and sniff is the pig, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be the moment.
You got to go with that or just straight gas, like exhaust from the bikes you're walking through.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I can't believe it. This actually is a minute, Steve, that has both versions of Nice Hog. We have an actual pig.
Oh, whoa, that is true.
This is a Nice Hog minute.
That's
Nice Hog is me and Steve's production company and comedy group, and it started from just in LA. We'd see motorcycles, we'd say Nice Hog, and then we embraced it.
And a real pig.
Yeah, this is actually the perfect minute for us.
Wow,
Can't believe
really
it.
nice. Magical.
I was maybe going to come in a little harsh on my score when we get to our scores, but now I'm feeling a little bit more nostalgic for this minute.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get to our final thoughts and rate this minute of Motorama. Ryan, as our guest, we're going to start with you. We'd love to know, out of 5 stars, how would you rate just this minute? What do you think might happen in the next minute? And would you watch the rest of this movie?
Based on our conversation, I'd say this is a solid 2 out of 5. This is a pretty rough, easy, light going minute. Not a lot happening. That being said, I feel like now he's about to enter into some sort of arm wrestling competition and hopefully win. And I feel like I have to watch the rest of this movie now. Literally, after the conversation and missing the Torah, we have to find out the religious experience found within Motorama.
Amazing. Great score. Steve, your final thoughts.
I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It would have probably been 2, but with the Nice Hog of it all, I'm giving it an extra 1 full number up. Not just like this kind of transition. There's obviously a lot that's going to happen in the next few minutes, but the talking to himself kind of mocking line is like, kind of like cheesy a little bit. I'd rather have him just like react, but it's just me.
I was going to come in and say that I really liked that bit, and that's why I was going to give it 3.5 out of 5. Because I kind of like Gus. He's getting a little cynical about it. All throughout the movie, part of the gag is these, in some cases, like seniors are finding out that he plays Motorama, and it's like a laughing stock. It's like, look at this out of touch guy. He still plays Motorama. And so now Gus is starting to sound more like the people making fun of him.
That is true.
His child. I'm obsessed with like the subtle ways the film plays with his relationship with adulthood. Like, he's got the mug. Well, let's assume that's probably coffee. But he's also got PB&J. Like, that's a kid and an adult in the same moment. And also, he's in a fucking biker bar. This is not the most interesting minute, but I do like where we're checking in with Gus at this stage of the movie before things are about to get even worse for him. And it's fitting. We're right at the halfway point. He's got half the cards. If you're watching the movie and you're not watching him minute by minute and you're like, where are we in this movie? Because structurally, it's a little loose. Halfway. So I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5. But I think almost all of my scores probably have a little bit of, they're graded on a curve.
That's
I can't. And so now we have our Letterboxd review of the week. We have finally, as folks remember from minute 43, we've been working reverse chronologically. We're catching up to present day with our select Letterboxd reviews. We've finally hit the pandemic. So the reviews are going to get darker and sadder. This review is from user Purak, who reviewed the film on the European day format. Really threw me for a loop. Only have done this 44 times. Reviewed the movie on April 16th, 2020. Gave it 3.5 stars. Here's the review. Character actors galore. I loved seeing who would pop up on screen next. But who the hell is the girl in the cover art? Did I miss something? Motorama deserves its cult following, and much more. Now, I think Poorak is an idiot. Obviously it's Drew Barrymore. She's in the movie. Her name's all over it. But I do agree. Motorama deserves its following and much more. And we're trying. We're trying, Poorak.
You'll get there.
Does not know Drew Barrymore, but knows all the other character actors. Maybe it's
galore. It's not. I don't think he's doing a bit because it seems like he genuinely missed those 19 seconds. Maybe he got up to get a drink or something. Or
yeah,
it is only 19 seconds.
He could have just like popcorn's ready, and then missed it.
And there's one comment on this review where someone tells him it's Drew Barrymore and they get the name wrong. So I don't know if like they're both doing bits and I'm getting whooshed here, or it was just like two people who might have had COVID in April 2020 talking to each other on Letterboxd. Actually, we're soon. We could very possibly soon have a review of Motorama that is canonically posted during the course of the events of Eddington. To bring it full circle, we're going to get to May 2020. Cannot wait for it. Oh, this movie and the people that love it and the people that tolerate it. It has been very
Poorak,
fun.
who knows Mary Warrenov and not Drew Barrymore.
Yes. The deep bench of Poorak's knowledge. Well, Ryan, thank you for being on the show. It's been a fantastic, wide-ranging conversation about movies. Super excited for the launch of your new company. You want to go ahead and give folks the plug again, and where can they find out more information?
Sure. AntennaReleasing.com is the website for the brand new company that has launched, and we have our first film coming to theaters at the end of March or early April. We're finalizing the exact date on that now. Look us up on all social media and follow myself at Disc Connected everywhere.
Every time that I discover a new movie for my wish list is coming to 4K, it is thanks to you. And so you bring me joy probably 3 to 4 times a week, depending on what the announcements are. Thank you for your service.
What I'm aiming
for. True stalwart of the community. I should have asked this moments ago, but I didn't. Antenna with an E at the end or not?
No E at the end. We are not bugs.
E at the end.
We are transmitting films to the world.
There you go. Thank you very much for being here again. It has been a blast. Steve, anything you would like to plug?
My Instagram's at Steve_Ator and my website's steveator.com. And we've been doing a lot of editing, so new movies are coming.
Not on this show.
Not on this show. We don't edit this show, but we do a lot of other editing of short films that are coming out soon.
Yes, tomorrow, if you are hearing this on the day that this comes out, tomorrow, you can go to secretmenubeautypageant.com and check out our latest short film. And it's an experimental comedy horror short. If you like genre-bending stuff, if you like midnight movies, if you like Adult Swim, if you like the VHS series or Adult Swim infomercials, if you like discovering something, flipping channels at 4 a.m. and you go, what the fuck is this? And before you know it, you've watched the whole thing. Secret Menu Beauty Pageant is for you. Again, secretmenubeautypageant.com. You might have seen the film on the festival circuit. We played at Burbank International, at Buffalo. We played at We Make Movies. We played at the Pack Comedy Festival, a ton of festivals. We did 2 years on the circuit. And so we've been with this film for a long time. And now you can finally taste it for yourself. Secretmenubeautypageant.com. We'll probably be plugging that for the rest of the show. So get used to hearing it. We also have a bunch more stuff. As Steve said, we have a full slate of about 5 or 6 shorts, depending on where some of those shake out, that will be taken to festivals this year, and we're super stoked about that. You can find all of our stuff at nice-hog.com. We're on Instagram at nicehogstagram, and you can subscribe to the free Nice Hog newsletter, nicehog.substack.com. It's the best place to get all of our stuff in one spot. Every Friday, we give you a little summary of what's going on, along with episodes of this show, our video game streams. You already know what it is. It's all of that. And so as we come to the end of the show, once again, I want to thank you both for being here. It's been a long one, but it's been a good one. Steve, hit him with the sign off.
Nice hog.
All right, nice hog. And we're out of here.